All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, in recent years, the American League East has been the premier and toughest division in Major League Baseball, and the proof is in the pudding. Last year, we saw four teams from the AL East win at least 91 games with the Toronto Blue Jays falling a game short of making the postseason because both of the wild cards, both in the Red Sox and Yankees, came out of this division. And as things were once again expected to be tight in the AL East this year, it's the Yankees that are setting the pace in this division early on. Now, with a record of 25-9, the Yankees are not only in first place in the AL East, but they also have the best record currently in Major League Baseball. The Yanks have put some distance between themselves and the other teams in this division as they're currently 4.5 games up on the second place Tampa Bay Rays, 7.5 up on the third place Toronto Blue Jays. And then you think about the Boston Red Sox, they're actually in last place in this division and they're 12 games back of the Yankees, not to mention the Baltimore Orioles in fourth, and they're 11.5 back. Now, you look at this team in each phase of the game. And first of all, when you think about the Yankees, you think about their bats. That's why they got the nickname many years ago as the Bronx Bombers. And right now, New York is tied with the Los Angeles Angels for the most home runs in the American League with 48. And, I expected, and I talked about this, I expected Aaron Judge to have a big year as he's going to be a pending free agent this winter. And, he's not, proving me wrong at this point. So far, Judge is hitting 296 with 12 home runs and 27 runs batted in. And then you think about his tag team partner in the middle of that Yankee lineup. And I'm talking about Giancarlo Stanton, who is hitting 290 with 10 home runs and 31 runs batted in. So, the modern day Bash brothers, they're going out there and getting it done. And you're talking about two guys who are built like defensive ends in football or built like power forwards in the NBA. But nonetheless, they put fear in opposing pitchers, and it shows with the productivity that they've given New York so far this season. You think about this Yankee rotation, and the question was heading into the season, who was going to step up in this rotation, not named Garrett Cole, and give New York some depth. And that depth so far is coming from Nestor Cortez. He's 2-1 with an earned run average of 1.35. He's been shutting down some good lineups. We saw him dominate the Chicago White Sox on the road today to help New York get the win. And you think about it, the Yankees, their team ERA of 2.80 is tops in the American League. And, speaking of the aforementioned Garrett Cole, he himself is 3-0 with an ERA of 2.95. And of course, that's important because you still have Aroldis Chapman down there in the bullpen coming out in the ninth inning with, throwing heat consistently at 100 miles an hour. And, once that fastball gets inside of you, it's done, and he's keeping it going. Credit to the Yankees so far. They've done a good job of taking care of business against the teams that they're supposed to beat. They're 6-3 so far this season against Toronto, and that's important because I picked Toronto to win this division coming out of spring training. We also saw New York take 3 out of 4 this weekend from the Chicago White Sox. And that's important as well because I know that the White Sox have struggled to begin this year, but they're still the defending AL Central champs. And at some point, I do expect them to get going. But nonetheless, the Yankees, they've been taking care of their business against teams they're supposed to beat. Like I said, they've got 7 out of their next 10 coming up against Baltimore. And that's going to be important right there because they want to take care of business against the Orioles. Why? Because you look at the end of this month, and I'm talking about Memorial Day weekend, 4 games in Tampa with the Rays. And of course, we saw the Rays win 100 games last year. It's not going to be as easy for Tampa to do that. I don't think that they get that done this year, but they're still going to be a very formidable team. You never gloss over the Rays. And then after that, 3 games at home against the Los Angeles Angels. And the Angels definitely look like a different team this year. They're getting quality pitching themselves. And of course, they have a healthy Mike Trout to go along with Shohei Otani. But nonetheless, the Yankees, they still have a ton of games to play against their AL East brethren. It's a long season. The MLB season is a marathon. It's not a sprint, but nonetheless, the Yankees, they've got themselves off on a hot start. Manager Aaron Boone is pushing all of the right buttons. And let's just see if the Yankees can keep this thing going as the summer months approach. And then, of course, at that point, let's see if the Yankees can keep this pace going in the AL East, dictate things, and find themselves not only back in the postseason, but they're looking to do bigger and better things. It's hard to believe, but you got to go back to 2009 to find the last time that the Pinstripers won it all. So I know 13 years. Their fan base is getting, ornery, so to speak, as far as not seeing their team in the Fall Classic or having a parade down the Canyon of Heroes on Broadway in New York City. So let's see what happens for the Yankees coming down for the remainder of the season, rather. But a solid start nonetheless for the Bronx Bombers. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.